Hello and welcome back to the unofficially titled podcast. It is me, Yanni from Yanni's Nerdverse,
Me, Emmet from isuperebba.
And Roman from Roman's Empire.
and today we have a very fun show. We are doing a draft pick for our most anticipated projects of 2023. It is the new year, which means new movies, shows, and just a bunch of stuff to be excited about. And the way that we're doing this today is that we are going to be making a sort of like fantasy football draft of our favorite projects, and then at the end you guys can tell us who has the best draft pick and tell us what's your draft pick for the year's projects. So the way we're going to do this first is, actually I'm doing my phone because I don't want to mess up the recording, but we're going to roll a die, and I say we go in alphabetical order. So Emmett, yours will be the first one.
Okay,
Let's
sounds
see.
good. Come on.
Dice
Is the
roll.
highest goes first? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I would say ours goes first.
Okay,
All
perfect,
right.
perfect.
Big six here.
5.
Okay, I'll
That's
take
got a
it.
good
I'll take it.
number.
Pretty
All
good.
right, Roman, next to you. 3. But still solid. There's a lot. That's nice in the middle. Let's see where I land. 1.
Oh, okay.
Well, the way that we'll be doing it, so Emmett will go first, then me, Roman, and then me. So we're gonna go just each say one at the very end. We'll sound off again what our 5 picks are. So
Sounds good.
Emmett, what would you say? What is gonna be your first pick for?
Okay, so this isn't necessary. It's almost my most anticipated movie. It isn't, but I know if I don't say it, you two are gonna jump on it immediately. I'm going across the Spider-Verse. Gonna
Oh,
be
dang.
incredible in every sense of the word. It's gonna be just a perfect movie. Cannot wait for it.
It's
I need
probably
it.
one of the
Honestly,
biggest
yeah.
heavy hitters, I would say, for the year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
100%. That's a
uh,
really good one, actually. Oh gosh.
do you
Okay.
guys want to talk about it, or do you guys want to just talk about like sound, or just go around saying our things first? Because like, I would say like just
Nope.
like for like Spider Verse, I honestly would say it's probably my most anticipated Marvel 2 in general.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
That last trailer was so good, and it was so fun. Just all the picking out all the little Spider Men that they're putting in there. Like they're throwing in
Mm-hmm.
everyone, which is so cool.
And that's in like the
Mm-hmm.
2 minute trailer. It's like 2 full hours of it. It's I'm gonna have to watch it 20 times in theaters just to see everything. And they do this fun little things with the frames where like he takes the money and it's his take and
Oh, I
the
love that.
bagel in the last movie. Like it's just so fun. I love it so much.
It just
Mm-hmm.
feels like
It's
the
the
most like Spider Man that we've ever gotten.
it's the sequel to the best like animated movie ever made,
Oh,
like in
for
my
sure.
honest opinion. So it's and you know how second movies usually do, they're usually better than the first.
True.
So it's gonna be good.
I'm
Very true.
I'm very excited because and they've been taking their time with it too. It was delayed, which as soon as I heard that, I was actually happy because studios push out things so quickly now and get rushed, especially also for a sequel. Sometimes they like just rush it out just for the money, but you can tell the people behind these projects care so much about it. So definitely makes sense, Emmett, for you to select this one of the first one. All right, Roman. I feel like I know what you're gonna take from me. So what are you gonna? What's gonna be your
No,
first
this
pick?
might be a sleeper pick, but I feel like this is probably one of the most hyped movies, not for me personally, but for probably the large consensus of people in the world, the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
No.
Oh, that's a good one. What that
I think that's going to give Spider-Man a run for its money for best animated feature. I don't know
Yeah,
if it'll be as good, but I really do think it could make more money than Spider-Man.
yeah.
And
I agree.
that's going to be tough to beat. So,
It captures everybody. Like
It,
Mario is just so huge. Like a 3-year-old is gonna want to see it. A 55-year-old is gonna want to see it. It covers everyone knows and loves Mario. Add on beautiful animation. Like it's game over. It's gonna do incredible. That's actually my most anticipated.
that's a
But I went for
great
Spud.
one. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I think we talked about it last week. Last time we did this, or last time we were talking about trailers. But like, the reach for this movie is going to be insane, and I'm really intrigued to see like just box office numbers are fun. They don't determine the quality of the movie or whatever. But I think this could be like a really big heavy hitter, and also hopefully showed like the world and movie studios that animated movies can make money, because I think this could for sure make $1 billion.
Definitely,
So hopefully this can do a lot of good things for the industry too. Because
I
definitely.
like you
agree.
guys said, the animation is so good. There's so many cool details. It just looks so crisp too. It's perfect. All right. Well, I was trying to think of a good animated project because you guys both picked animated to keep the thing, but I'm not sure of too many animated movies I can think off the top of my head that are coming out. But I'm gonna take Blue Beetle because I'm so excited for that,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna swipe it up because I'm mean. Because I'm so excited, and it's funny because I was really worried that it was gonna get the Batgirl treatment just because they were both supposed to be direct to HBO Max movies, and we know that part of the reason that Batgirl was shelved is because of the budget, and it wasn't supposed to be like that high quality. Like the story was supposed to be really good and all the actors, but like the physical like set piece and stuff was part of the problem behind the scenes. Um, but the suit looks amazing. They made it a full theatrical release, and like I said before, like I am shocked by the social like media push. That being said, like on videos, I would not have expected like my Blue Beetle videos to do well or anyone's really. But if you go to like any comic talk like creator, those videos are all popping off, and the comment sections are everyone's so excited. So at least for the nerd community, I don't know how the general audience is gonna feel, but the nerd community is super excited for this, and it's crazy because he's Blue Beetle has had his time in the spotlight with like Young Justice and stuff like that, and pretty well in the comics, but he's never been the focal point of DC. I think that could change.
Definitely. And I don't think they're gonna like advertise it as such, but I really think this could retroactively be the first movie of the new DC universe. If it doesn't have, super strong connections to DCEU, I think Blue Beetle's definitely gonna, fingers crossed at least, that he's gonna be safe in this new universe. And like you said, it just is gonna be great.
I agree, and
No,
I
I
think it'll
agree.
be.
Oh no. I just think that Blue Beetle has potential to be DC Spider-Man. And just like you got your young actor, you're gonna have him for a lot of years. And just his personality, not saying he's like Spider-Man, but he's fun, but he can also be really serious. He could be dark. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of what's gonna happen with the movie, but there's a lot of potential out there, and he's an actor that everybody already loves from Cobra Kai.
Right.
So he has that, and it's the first, not the first, but be the first Latino like mainstream, like Marvel finally got Namor, but who does DC really have right now? Ratcatcher 2?
I
But
think it is the first main character superhero movie that Latino lead. But I don't know. I'm not for sure. But I feel like I've seen headlines with that in articles. Yeah. So
You guys know
that'll be a big
George
thing. I'm excited to
Lopez?
see how that turns out. Yeah. All right, Emmet.
You know
What's
George Lopez is gonna be in Blue
Oh, I
Beetle?
did hear about
he
I
that.
just
is?
heard about that. I think that's
What?
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. The cast is supposed to be really fun. I'm really excited.
I can't believe this lasted through the first round. I'm going Guardians Volume 3.
That's a very good pick.
I think easily MCU wise, easily most anticipated project of this year. I almost said next year. And I mean, it's the end of the Guardians as we know them. It's James Gunn is putting his heart and soul into this ending. I think it has potential to be easily one of the best MCU movies ever.
Yeah, for sure. And
Agreed.
like you said,
100%.
it's definitely my most anticipated MCU one. And I think MCU the movies, they're not really like pulling me in that much this year. Like Ant-Man I'm gonna see, but like I'm not like I'm gonna see all the projects, but I'm not like super like hyped. Like I don't like need it to come out. And
Mm,
Marvel's, I mean, I just have no. Miss Marvel was really fun, so I'm excited to see her in it. But I don't have like a big like desire. We've seen no, but to be fair, we've seen no marketing at all, not even a
true.
trailer. Um, so I'm sure it'll ramp up more later on. But like besides that, like not too much to be like super hyped for. I think this year.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, Guardians same for me. It's the most hyped. I was gonna use that one next, but I knew Emmet was gonna go for it. But yeah, it's definitely one of the most I think it could end up being top five MCU movies like of all time, depending on how it's handled. It might be the last time we see a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a really hype um franchise and overall a hyped movie, not even just Marvel, in my opinion. I know a ton of people that aren't like the biggest Marvel fans, they're gonna go see it. They've been seeing all of the Guardians movies.
Definitely.
So, hmm
Very good pick,
okay,
Emmett. Roman, what do you got for
this is
us?
tough. Okay, comes to
Actually,
movies. I think I'm gonna go with this might be wrong, but Barbie. I'm gonna go with Barbie.
definitely the people's choice. I will. That's a good one to win people over.
Yeah,
I respect it.
I think it's gonna be good. It's Margot Robbie. Everyone loves her. They're saying she's in her flop era right now, but hopefully Barbie isn't a flop.
Did you see
But
Babylon?
I did see Babylon. I personally love Babylon, but
I haven't seen
that's
it.
something else.
Yeah, I mean that's a
But yeah.
great pick. I'm really excited to see if this is gonna have the Morbius treatment or the Minions treatment, where it has
Mm.
so much buzz on social media, but will people actually go see it? And it is Greta Gerwig, or I think pronouncing is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
hmm
so and amazing director, so and amazing cast too. Like you said, Mark Robbie, you got
hmm
Ryan Gosling, and the two main like
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell's
Will
in it.
Ferrell, yeah,
Oh my
he's the
Simu
god.
villain.
Liu is crazy.
Oh my god.
Simu Liu, yeah, the
Simu
new
Liu's
Doctor
in it,
Who
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh the
Nakurigawa.
right the new one. Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is a major cast. So I'm excited to see also the social media push for that too, because I think nowadays like that can really determine the at least like the teens to like 30-year-olds whether they go see the movie.
hmm
So and I think we saw like a lot of movies recently that haven't done social media pushes. They haven't had as much marketing versus like Avatar, which has been I think a lot of the marketing has been towards the older audiences. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
see what they do
hmm
for that one. That'll be cool.
I can't like Barbie is probably the most hyped movie I've seen that isn't like Marvel or DC or
For
in a
sure.
while. I mean,
Yeah.
even last year with
hmm
like the set leak photos leaking and every time a
Yeah.
new member was announced for the cast, everyone went crazy. Like I feel like this movie has so much hype behind it. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I have no idea where it came from. Like it started off I think as a
Yeah.
joke, but then they like put in like serious actors and directors, and they were like, "Oh, cool! This could be something really cool too." Yeah. And is it supposed to be like kiddie? Do we know, or is it supposed to be like super serious? I
No, we have no
no
clue.
clue. That's gonna be
It's
hilarious. Because if it's supposed to, if it ends up being like super serious and like parents take their kids to it, it'll be really funny. That'll be some good stories. All right, I was gonna say Oppenheimer just for the memes of the Barbie, but I think I'm gonna go with a smarter pick of just to get one out. I'm gonna say the Flash. Not to be a DC fanboy and go back to
okay.
back, but I'm also really excited for this movie. And I know that gets a lot of heat because of the whole Ezra Miller situation. But there's just so many passionate people behind this project, and so many actors and writers, and the director too. And everything we've heard is supposedly like from like the early screeners say it's amazing, and that every actor in that movie is great, and it's supposed to be a really well made story. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but what's the point if the universe is being reset? But I think it's hopefully gonna show that like movies can like stand on their own, and it'll be good for what it's worth. So I definitely think I'm really excited for it, and I'm really intrigued what's gonna happen if it succeeds really well, because it's gonna be a. I don't know if they're gonna do any more. I doubt they're gonna do any more reshoots to like change the ending at all for the reboot stuff. But hopefully it doesn't confuse audiences if they reboot something and then do a whole nother reboot next year.
That's a great pick. I think The Flash has an insane amount of potential. Like earlier today, it came out that like Warner Brothers hasn't had this much faith in a movie since The Dark Knight, and they're ready to
Yeah,
push it. They're going back to the Super Bowl for the first time in
that's the big
17 years
one.
or something with a
That's
Flash
insane.
trailer. Like they have so much faith in this movie, and like I'm sure they already had faith, but to have faith after like the Ezra Miller stuff, like
Yeah.
to still be putting the like it's got to be amazing. And I actually got to talk to someone that worked on it a couple months
Oh.
back, and like
Oh,
they had seen the test screening, and I was cautiously optimistic up until I talked to that person, and they had so much praise for it. They said it was incredible. The CGI wasn't even done, but they were still like crying. Like it seems like it's really going to be
That's awesome.
something. Great pick. I'm jealous you stole it.
And I'm really excited because, and I always butcher the way to pronounce him, but there's been like a lot of rumors that the director is also going to direct like, the next Justice League movie and stuff like that, and they're keeping him on. because the way he talks in interviews about like the Flash and comic books in general, very similar to I think like James Gunn, who just has so much passion for these projects that I think that goes to show like why this project probably is gonna be so good. It's because he knows the characters so well and cares about them so much.
Definitely.
Yeah, I honestly think that it's actually amazing how many people are coming to defend the Flash, even like you said, with all that controversy. I made a TikTok just a couple days ago where I was making fun of how the Otherworld Flash looks like because he's wearing like Batman's armor,
Yeah.
and the amount of people, because I was just laughing at it, but the amount of people defending, like they are diehard like fans of the Flash, and I think the fact that Flash has also had a TV show, like obviously it's not the same Flash, but I believe personally, other than Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash might have more fans, like in general, the character, than maybe the ones that are around for Wonder Woman or even for Superman at this point, because obviously of how Superman's been treated. But there's tons of fans of the character of the Flash, not necessarily Ezra Miller, not necessarily the DCEU version, but just the character of Flash. And I think that's actually exciting to see.
I think that's a great
Definitely. And
point.
this is
Yeah.
it's the first Flash movie ever,
Yeah.
which is
It's
insane
been delayed
because it
so
just
many
seems like
times.
they're yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. Yeah. But yeah. So that's my pick.
All right,
Oh,
Emmett.
that's me, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going this probably I've got so much bias to this. I don't think this is gonna be like popular. I'm going Shazam Fury of the Gods.
Oh, that's a
I
great pick.
I adore the first movie. I
So
just love how like optimistic and colorful and hopeful it is. I think it's great. This next one gets a lot of flack and some of it rightfully so online. But I love the first one. I think I'm gonna love this one. I love the whole Shazam family, and they have a very prominent role in this one. Again, DCEU is going downhill fast, but it's still gonna be a good movie. It doesn't matter, in my opinion.
I think this year is going to be actually really good for DC, like movie wise, because the only one that we haven't heard too much about, like test screenings and stuff, is Aquaman 2. But I also
Hmm.
love the first one, so I think all four of those movies that are coming out are going to be really good. But Shazam for sure, like I love the first one. The only thing I'm upset about is the fact that the first one kind of not flopped considering all things considered. It also went up against like a couple. I forgot what movie it came up against, but it was a big. I think it was Marvel movie or something. Um, it might have actually been one of the Avengers. I can't remember.
I was just thinking.
I
I
think it
think it
was,
might have been.
oh, what did it come out? It
It,
might have been up against
I
Endgame.
think it was
Was it?
something really big. It was. You
Yeah.
know what? I get confused with also Solo because Solo went up against another movie and that one also flopped too.
Oh my God, Shazam came out April 5th, 2019. Endgame came out 2 weeks later.
Yeah. See, I
Oh,
knew it went up
I
against a
That's
re-
big one.
crazy.
Yeah. So
mhm.
And
no shot. Like.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I'm worried something similar will happen because Shazam is not directly up against because there's a couple weeks in between, but like we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and something else I can't
I
think
think
of right now.
Barbie and Oppenheimer dropped, I think, 2 weeks after it.
Oh,
So
really?
Really?
No, no.
Wait.
I think
Shazam's March. Barbie is
oh,
July.
Shazam's March.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you scared me for a second.
Oh,
I
I think
thought.
because of John Wick. John Wick is a week after.
Oh,
Oh,
Wait, no, that doesn't drop March, right?
that's May, I think.
May. Okay.
The only
John Wick is a big
ones,
one, though.
yeah, John Wick. I'm
Thanks for
worried
bringing that
about,
up.
but I shouldn't have said that because I was gonna put John Wick on my list. Dang it. But yeah, so John Wick is around then, and then I think that's the only other heavy hitter I think around then. Maybe the Mario movie could too, but that's like a month after. So.
Oh, true.
Mhm.
But yeah, I know I'm worried about the social media, like the marketing push in general, because I haven't seen
Definitely.
anything. We haven't even gotten. We've only gotten one trailer. Is it only one? I think, or do we have
Yeah,
two?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So hopefully, I'm guessing we'll get something for the Super Bowl, but hopefully we get some more because I think it's gonna be a great one. Again,
I
the
agree.
director, the way he talks about the characters, comic books in general, is awesome. I love how when directors are really passionate about the books and the characters themselves, and especially when they craft such great movies. Because like I said, like you mentioned, and I agree. Like Shazam 1 is such a good movie and very, I think, underappreciated. I really wish more
I
people
agree.
would see it. Great pick.
Thank you.
All right.
Rome.
I know you mentioned John Wick, but I'm not going to take it.
Not gonna
I'm
take
going
it.
to take, it just popped in my head, Dune Part 2.
Ooh, that's
That's what
another
I'm
Ooh,
going
one
to
I was
take.
considering.
great pick.
Great freaking pick.
I honestly think this is probably bold. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think the Dune franchise could become the modern Star Wars. With an absence of Star Wars in film, like obviously they're in, we have all these TV shows, but without that big sci-fi like thriller that people can go to the theaters and watch every 2 years, which is literally what Dune's doing every 2 years, there's a hole that's filling in, and I believe that's going to be Dune. All star cast: Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Austin Butler. I can't.
That's
There's more. Dave
insane.
Bautista's in it.
Yeah.
Insane cast, absolutely, and it's probably going to end up going for years and years and years. And I do believe. I know we were talking about billion-dollar movies for 2023. I think Dune could be one of them, but let's see if people show out like to the movies for that.
I think they're definitely gonna have to also push the Zendaya stuff because I know that people got upset that they like false advertised and like she wasn't in the movie that much. But I know that based on the book, supposedly she has a really big role in this next part. So hopefully they assure people she'll be in. And like you said, like the whole lead and cast is insane. So a lot of star power to bring people in. And I hope so too, because the first one I think had a lot of world building, and some of the general audience doesn't like to sit through a long movie. But I love the first two. I think I saw it 2 or 3 times in theaters because I thought it was just
Same.
great. It was just fun to watch. Like it was really really good. So that's a great pick.
Yeah, great pick. I think the first Dune, like, it came out kind of when at a time where like movie theaters weren't really back
Right.
to where they were at this point, and it did well, like financially. It made its money back and then some, but I feel like this one has potential to do so much more. You see how many people are going to Avatar 2 just to like see this beautiful world. I think Dune like has a lot of potential to also be that push of like a great story, a lot of world building, a lot of potential, but also like the most beautiful visuals.
Mhm.
To put in perspective,
100%. I think.
oh,
Oh, you go. You go.
oh, just a quick thing, because you mentioned the success rate. It did, I think, a little bit better or a little bit around the same as Black Adam, and all things
Oh,
considering the time, like you said, it was during a time where the
True.
pandemic was worse than it is now, and I think people were still very weary. And it also released on HBO Max the day of, I think.
True. And I'm
So,
mhm,
sure
mhm.
even though it's like such an insanely like CGI heavy movie, I'm sure it somehow had a lower budget than Black Adam because that movie just
oh
ate money for
God,
some
yeah,
reason.
for sure it did, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But Roman, you were gonna say
you're up.
something. Oh,
You literally said what I was gonna
oh,
say.
really?
Same
That's
exact
so
thing.
funny.
Yeah.
That's actually funny. All right. So my pick. Do I want to take John Wick? I was gonna say something. Oh, you know what? I don't think you guys know about this other pick, so I actually will take John Wick because I'm really excited. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a great movie. I love the first three. I love how they get like also better and better because I think the third one's the best and the second the first. So who knows how crazy this next one's gonna be. I love the fight choreography. It's just a fun time. So I think this could be another just great success.
I still have to
Yeah, I
watch
think.
the first three.
You
I've
haven't
Me
never
too.
seen
I
the
was gonna
first.
say that. I haven't seen it.
What?
really.
No.
Why the heck
Here's
did
my
I pick
thing.
this movie if none of you?
Here's my thing. I've heard like great things. It seems so good. I know a dog dies in the first one. Just I
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of the website doesthedogdie.com because if I ever think a dog's gonna die before a movie, I check.
That's
And
so
I'm just
funny.
not
Oh
To
my
think.
gosh.
I don't know if I can I'm gonna watch it though. I'm gonna watch all three.
Hmm.
Yeah, but what
It's
you guys better watch it. They're awesome.
yeah.
They're just fun. Like the first one, I think is definitely the most like just fun to see cool action. But like the second and third just have like just I think better dialogue and better storytelling, and they're great flicks. And the fight choreography is just so good. Like if we could get more of that in like superhero movies, because I think fight choreography is the thing that's so up and down. Which I love Shang-Chi because it was just awesome fight scenes.
Mhm.
But so hopefully that stuff transfers over. Yeah.
Do you
It's
know
good.
when it comes out?
It comes out March 24th. So that's
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's a
Ooh.
week after Shazam.
Oh wow.
So
Hmm.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch them. I'll
good.
watch them before that.
That'll
I'll
help
I'm
me
have to
out.
do
vowing
it
now.
too.
I'm excited to hear what you guys think about them. All right, I'll put that one down. All right, Emmett.
Okay. I'm torn between a couple here, but I think for fourth, I am gonna go with the Marvels.
Nice, good
I
Ooh.
pick.
I am very, very much looking forward to it. I think it's kind of like hidden under the rest of the MCU's slate this year,
Mhm.
but I think I really do think it's gonna be good. Like we were saying earlier, sequels normally better than the first, and also Captain Marvel came out at like a really questionable time. I mean, it made a lot of money, so not that questionable. But like Brie Larson had already filmed her scenes for Infinity War or for Endgame. So like the character, they didn't really know what they wanted to do with the character. Now we've kind of seen her expanded on like a little. We've gotten teases in like Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel. And I think Brie Larson by the end, this is a bold thing to say with how many people hate her, but I think by the end of the Marvels, Carol Danvers will be like a fan favorite. I think they're really gonna do a lot with the character. I think her interacting with Monica and Miss Marvel are going to be incredible. Like the three of them working together is so cool. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's like a musical element to
That's what
it.
I'm most excited about. I will
That seems
say, like,
so interesting.
I'm not super hyped for the movie, but I love when superhero movies do new and wacky stuff. So the fact that like the rumors like half of it is a musical is just so cool to me. Like that's part of the reason why I'm excited for Joker, which I think is 2024. But it's supposed to be a
Oh.
musical, and like to do that something crazy like
Mhm.
that, oh, like give me cool and wacky new ideas. Like I'll
Exactly.
always be suited for it.
Mhm.
You know?
I'm excited to see if they're going to grow Kamala's powers
Yeah.
because from what it seemed to be from like interviews and things like that, it seemed like the actual like director of the like Captain, not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel itself was saying that we haven't even seen her powers at the fullest
True.
form.
Right.
So, and I think someone also said that her bangles don't give her the powers. So, what, what are her real, what are her mutant powers? Like, what are they?
True.
And I'm sure that's what's going to be answered in the Marvels for her character. And who knows? Maybe we'll actually get what's her powers called?
Embiggening.
And
Yeah.
Embiggening. Yeah.
it's interesting you bring up the mutant thing because it's probably a long shot. I think there's a chance we get like the biggest tease or hint to like the grander mutant universe, whether that's X-Men or like a tease to the X-Men directly in our universe, or if it's just like meeting another mutant at some point throughout the story. I think like this is going to really expand upon that because they made Kamala a mutant for a reason. And I mean, for a couple reasons, but I feel like they're going to expand upon it because a lot of people are questioning it, and fair enough. So I think we'll kind of see like the relationship start between mutants and that kind of thing.
I'm so curious how they're gonna handle the mutants and stuff. Just because like you also said like there's also like Namor. It was also just a big deal that he
True.
was a mutant. But I have no clue. Like, cause I think that they're gonna do a soft reboot after Secret Wars, but if they're dropping hints for mutants now, because I doubt we're gonna get X-Men before Secret Wars. That
Mm,
has to be coming afterwards. But they're doing a lot of teases for mutants, so I'm so curious how they're gonna weave those together and set that up because they
true.
could just be setting up stuff to come after like 2026. Um, but definitely, I think it's interesting. I also want to know about the Bengals stuff, how that relates to what's the other technology? The Shang-Chi
Oh,
rings, right? Aren't they supposed to be
yeah,
related?
10 rings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in the Quantumania trailer, it looks like
Then
Kang
there's
is
the
like
other
using
thing.
them. So that's bold. That's a whole
Hmm.
other thing to
Yeah,
be
because we
excited
don't know.
about.
Like, I'm hoping also Ant Man. Yeah, we get the connection of like if the beacon is being sent to Ant Man or what's going on. Because we have no clue how those artifacts are gonna work and tie in it to Secret Wars and stuff like that. Like, could it be multiversal? Who knows? Like,
True.
we don't know what's going on. But I just yeah, more answers is just gonna be a fun thing, especially in a
And
time where people. I didn't mind the isolated stories because I know people complain a lot about like they don't know where the phase was going for Phase 4 and stuff. But
oh yeah, true.
just to get answers for
Hmm.
that to satisfy some people, I think is also a good thing.
True.
But good pick.
Thank you.
Damn.
Roman, what do you
Ah,
got?
this is tough. In between two right now. Let me think.
I hope it's not the one I have because I'm actually excited, but I
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen it.
go. I'm gonna go with my horror junkies over here. Scream Six. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Interesting.
Good pick.
I don't. I don't know if that's as popular of a lot, but I think that I don't know if you guys saw Scream Five,
Did that come out
but
this year? I don't know why. I feel like
2 years
it was
ago.
2 years ago.
Was
Okay.
it? Wait,
I have no
no. Yeah,
clue.
2 years
So
ago.
here's the
2 years
thing.
ago.
I am not a big horror movie person. Like, I don't like if there's like I like thrillers a lot, but I'm not big into like slashers and stuff like that. But I know that everyone loves it, and I feel like on my For You page, I'm always seeing a new. I don't know if it's a Halloween movie or the Scream with the mask dude. Like something is always
Hmm.
out in theaters. I feel like, and so yeah. When I saw that on the list of movies that are coming out this year, I was surprised by that. Yeah.
That's a good pick.
I
I
That's a
think
don't.
good thing.
I think it could be a sleeper hit. The fifth one brought back Scream to the
Yeah.
like the main light. Like now a lot of people are like thinking about it again. And I think with them moving, obviously they have Jenna Ortega. She's the biggest star
Big heavy
right
True.
hitter.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So huge, huge, huge potential for it to like make a ton of money. In horror movies, which is this is strange to say, but those types of movies and thrillers too, they make a lot of money and they barely have high budgets.
Yeah.
Megan already is set to make like $23 million opening weekend,
Wow.
and it only costs like 15 million to make. Like who
Wow.
who is watching these movies? Like
I
who's
don't.
actively
I
going to see
see
them?
all
You
the
know?
stuff for Mega. I don't even. You're right. I'm seeing it everywhere. So the fact that it's like people are going to see it, it's crazy. Yeah. Very, very sleeper franchise in this genre.
I I can't. I don't understand why the Scream movies come out in March. I
I
mean, like, I guess
I
right.
it's less
know, right?
competition, but like, what? Why?
That's actually so true. I love when movies like fit the season. It's just more fun. Like
Exactly.
I just love the vibes. Like I'm not gonna watch a Christmas movie in May or something like that. Or like
Exactly.
the fact like the Batman like was almost came out in October would have been so cool. Like it was still great in March
True.
because I live in Chicago, so it's always cold, and like the season is dead. But like it's still good vibes. All right, I'm gonna pick one that I had to verify because I don't see an exact release date, but it says 2023, and I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but Rebel Moon. So,
Oh,
okay,
that is a
there,
great pick. Oh
yeah,
my
Every
yeah,
Snyder
God.
fan just chose you right now for the best
there you go.
list.
I'm
So
gonna get the
That's
entire
cheating.
Snyder fans to back my picking my draft. Yeah, so I mean I am one of the people that I do like Zack Snyder's movies, and that being DC, but also just in general. And I think he's a really interesting storyteller, and I really like also like just the way he does cinematography and filmmaking in general. Like even recently, like Army of the Dead was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it, and the fact that they put like so much lore into this random just like zombie franchise that like didn't seem to was going too many places. I can only imagine what he's gonna put into this sci-fi story that essentially that was a Star Wars pitch, and the fact that like you guys mentioned like we're not getting a Star Wars movie this year, this could also possibly satisfy people, and it's on Netflix, and we saw like Glass Onion did amazing numbers.
True.
So big movies being on Netflix, with especially like whole social media stuff, it can be pretty successful. So I'm excited. Concept art looks great. So
That is a
that's what I got.
great pick.
Yeah, thank
That
you.
is
I was
such
like,
a
I
good
didn't, I
pick.
didn't see like I happened to glance at it because I couldn't find an official release date, but it says 2023, so I'm
mhm.
counting it.
I'm not like
No,
the
you.
biggest Snyder fan out there. I like some of it. I don't like some of it. But I think him having full reigns over his own universe he's making in a Star Wars type vibe, I think that is like perfect. Because I think a lot of the issue with
Mhm.
the DC stuff is because they're characters we all know and love and have like preconceived notions and they have characterization of decades. But I think him in control of his own world is great.
Mhm.
And that's like one of
I
those things
agree.
that I think I also say like one of the problems with Star Wars was like it's so great that everything's so interconnected, but the fact that you have all this lore that you can't in the canon that you can't break. So yeah, like having full creative freedom is just such a big thing. And so that's another I think it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I think that with Rebel Moon, I hope that they do a theatrical release like they did for
Oh,
Glass Onion, but I
absolutely.
hope
Oh,
That's a
true.
good
Netflix
thing.
actually like thinks to themselves like, "Hey, this is gonna be a spectacle, like Dune, you
Right.
know?" And I hope they at least have it for a month. They only had Glass Onion for a week, which I think was a huge mistake,
Yeah.
but I get why they did it because now look at everybody talking about it
True.
on social media.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Because I don't want to watch that movie on my TV.
I
For
know. Yeah.
rewatches, yes, but for the first time, I want that IMAX.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
hopefully they.
absolutely. And I think doesn't he does like 70 millimeter camera? I don't know if that's a fact.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does. Yeah,
Yeah. I agree. Like that. Like Glass Onion. I think it's. I wish I would have seen it in theaters, but my friends and my family were all like busy with stuff that one weekend. So I was like, oh, great. But also, I think Glass Onion's way more suited for a streaming one because it's one of those movies that people can like have fun with and talk about online. It's a great one to watch with your
hmm
family. But I don't know if like a big sci-fi movie is like that. So I think in theaters is definitely the push. But yeah, like you guys said, I don't know if Netflix will do it. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was another movie that they made that they put in theaters for longer, but that was like in the way past like a couple of years ago. But I don't know why I'm blanking on the actual movie it was. But
I think you're right. That did happen. I just can't think of what it
I
was.
mean,
I can't think of it either, but
the main
they
point
would
is that
it would
there's
be a
hope.
mistake not to.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, they
hmm
say not to, and there's hope. Yeah. All right. So this is the final pick to solidify our draft. So Emmett,
Tough.
what do you got for us?
I'm torn between four right now. I have a list up. I've been crossing everyone's out. I've got four left,
Yeah.
and all right, I am gonna go with Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Interesting pick.
I I I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Dungeons and Dragons guy or anything. It just looks fun. That's all I can really say about it. I don't know any of the lore or anything. Looks like a good time. Um, I'm going for it.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Like
Wait,
oh.
wait, never mind. No, scratch that. Did no one say
Oh,
Ant-Man?
he
Did
did.
no one say
No,
Ant-Man?
no one said that, man. Yeah.
Ant-Man,
Yeah, no one's
Ant-Man,
in
Ant-Man, Ant-Man.
it.
Oh my
Go.
god, I love it was like a nice heartfelt like yeah this movie sleeper, but I'm really excited. Oh wait a minute, screw that. Let's go big budget MCU movie. Let's just be down for Ant-Man. That's really
In my
freaking
head,
funny.
Ant-Man is just like so close that it never popped into my head when thinking about all
Mhm.
this.
That was really
Alright.
freaking
All
funny.
right.
Ant-Man, anyway, like I was saying.
Really quick, just to mention it, I think that Dungeons and Dragons will actually could be pretty good. Just great cast. I love Chris Pine.
I
Unique
agree.
story and fun, and it's got the name attached to it, so hopefully it does a hit. But
Definitely.
to
I do
stay,
think it's gonna be good.
but to talk about your actual pick of Ant Man, yeah, like I don't know why. Like, I even rewatched the trailer the other day. It looks good, but I'm not like super driven. Like I don't need the movie. Like sometimes with
No,
super
that's fair.
projects I'm like super driven, but like I don't know something about it. But I'm still very excited. I'm gonna see it opening
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Like I say all this negatives. I'm like, but I will be there pre-ordering my tickets in the first possible showing. Oh man.
No, definitely. I think Ant-Man honestly is like one of the best origin superhero movies we've
For
gotten.
sure.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I actually liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I didn't even know it was like such a big thing until I like started using Twitter and TikTok and stuff. But I think Quantumania is gonna be great. You have Kang. I mean, obviously
That's the
that's why
biggest
like
driving
most
force.
yeah, that's why like most nerds like us are going. No, I don't think the general public really cares about Kang, but you have Paul Rudd, great as Scott Lang. He could. No, it's not. I'm not even gonna jinx it. I was gonna say it could be his last time, but it's not gonna be. I'm
I
not
know.
even gonna
I'm
go down
so
that.
curious if they'd be willing to.
And something I'm really excited for in the MCU as a whole is the Young Avengers, and I think that like no matter what really happens, I don't think they're gonna like team up in this, but I think we're gonna get the seeds like final, like maybe post credit scene of like Cassie Lang like doing something on a computer and like it says Young Avengers. I think we're getting something. Maybe a Kate Bishop, like maybe
I've
Kate
heard
Bishop
some
pops
yeah
up.
some rumors about
Yes,
that. I would
yes.
love
I'm I think they're gonna start in
that.
this
Interesting.
somehow.
Yeah, very interesting.
I think it's just exciting because the fact that we're final, like it's taken so long for the multiverse saga to build up. Like we got Loki, Spider-Man. I like I don't know, multiverse of madness, but it's all kind of those are all kind of like their own thing, right? This movie is officially the continuation of what was planted in Loki.
Yeah.
The
True.
rest of all of that hasn't really been, that's just multiverse shenanigans in itself. But this is finally going to that man that the He Who Remains said you better be worried about. He's popping in, and this could mean that we will see continuous Kang the Conquerors in different parts of life,
Yeah.
all played by Jonathan Majors, all with different levels of threat. And I like you said, a lot of people aren't thinking about it. Like you said, a lot of people aren't driven to it. But I think by the end of the movie, when we have a lot of our questions answered, we'll be more excited for stuff like Loki season 2, or honestly, just Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So we'll see
Definitely.
how this movie will turn out.
And I'm really excited to see if they're gonna pull a bait and they actually kill him, like this king, and this king is not gonna be the main one
Mm.
in Dynasty or Secret Wars.
Mm,
Like the fact that we have so many rumored appearances of King, and I wonder how many are gonna be different variants. Because I don't even know if you guys heard, but there's a rumor, like I don't know how much credibility, but there's a rumor that the Beyonder is gonna be in Secret Wars, and he's gonna be a variant of King, and which is a very new idea, and that could be also really cool. So who knows what they're gonna do and what's gonna happen? But yeah, I think
Definitely.
it's still gonna be a great movie and hopefully answer a lot of great questions.
100%.
Good pick,
All right,
Emmet.
last pick.
Yeah, Roman, what do you got for us?
Oh, this is tough. I have a lot on my mind. I want to make the right choice. Uh, mm,
Let's see.
I'm gonna. Geez, this is tough. I'm gonna go with. I don't know if you guys would pick this, but no, I don't want to go with that. No, 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 no.
It's a hard decision. There's a lot of movies. You also want to make
It's
sure you have a good roster.
At least you're thinking about it before you
okay.
say it.
I'm gonna go for it. This is probably not, like I said, probably not the right choice,
Go.
but I'm going with Cocaine Bear.
Oh my God, no! You're gonna be
I
the
was
people's
thinking about it.
champion now. That's you. You for sure. You just
Great
solidified the
pick.
win.
Great pick.
There's not much to say about it.
What
It
a
just
hilarious
looks,
thing.
it looks crazy. It looks absolutely bad.
Oh my God, I can't wait for the marketing. I know already it's gonna be amazing and just hilarious. Oh my
There's
God,
so much hype around the movie. Like, it's
so much.
crazy.
And it's not taking itself seriously. It knows what it is, and it knows why people want to see it. Like it is fully off the deep end.
That's a great pick.
Oh. And
All right, your last one.
I'm struggling between a couple, and I kind of want to diversify my pick a little bit, but there's none of these that I'm like, oh my God, I need to pick this one.
Oh yeah, I'm all comic book movies. I just realized.
I know.
Are you really?
Yeah.
All five?
Spider-Verse, Guardians, Shazam, The Marvels, Ant-Man was.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Still
gosh.
great, man. Still great ones. And we are a mainly comic book podcast.
True, true.
All right. I'm torn between three. I'm gonna say screw diversification. I'm gonna go for the one that I'm actually the most hyped for, and that's just gonna be Aquaman because I even rewatched it like a couple months ago. God, I love that movie. It's not like the perfect film, but the CGI is great. The story is like a typical standard story, but it's great action. It's good humor. Like it was just great performance all around, and I love the way they built Atlantis too, and all the stuff with the I forget the names, but like the fish horror people. I was so upset that they got that there was a spin-off project with them, but that was canceled.
Oh, The
'Cause
Trench?
the
Is that
Trench,
what it is?
yes,
Oh
because
yes.
James Wan could have made a really good horror like project because he's a great horror director. So I was really looking forward to that, but who knows what's gonna happen in the future. So I'm gonna say Aquaman because it's also supposed to be a darker movie and more like serious. So I'm curious how that's gonna go too, especially because this is gonna be the movie to end the DCU or DEU and go to the DCU. So I'm intrigued for how that's gonna do. I don't know if it'll be the biggest success, but I'm gonna put that on just for me. Yeah.
I'm actually really interested in how it's going to do at the box office because the first Aquaman made and
It
like oh,
made
it was the
bank.
only DCEU movie to cross $1 billion. I'm pretty sure. Like it made insane amount of money, and I'm really curious if that carries over.
Which I know you mentioned it earlier, like about the Flash being a big hitter. Um, I see the Aquaman as one of those sleeper ones that I think we don't talk about a lot. But I think it's because like the international box office just loved the movie and it was great. So
True.
I'm intrigued to see how it's gonna perform then too. Yeah. Well, so I think for the sake of time, we'll end it here. Maybe if we don't have topics next week, we can do shows and games one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
Okay.
so tell us. So just to say it all at the very end, just to wrap it all up. Emmett, you have Spider Verse, Guardians 3, Shazam, The Marvels, and Ant Man. Roman, you got Mario, Barbie, Dune 2, Scream 6, and Cocaine Bear. Very more spread out. And I've got Blue Beetle, The Flash, John Wick, Rebel Moon, and Aquaman 2.
This
So,
DC man right over here.
oh yeah, I'm a DC
Yeah.
fanboy. I know.
DC,
Just
Marvel.
literally DC, Marvel, and the movie fan. But
I'm
so,
definitely the least diverse list for sure.
so I love that you're like I have four of my five are all Marvel movies. But yeah, so let us know in the comments what you think about our lists, which one you like the most. Tell us your list, and who do you think is gonna reign supreme? Maybe like it's a year away, but we should like tally up either like box offices or like reviews, like consensus. And
Oh,
see what's the
yeah.
best one too.
Mhm.
And like
That would be
how we
fun.
think it all fared out. That would be a fun little thing we can do next year. In a year.
Yeah,
So,
a whole
In a
year.
year.
Maybe we'll have a name by then.
time. Yes, we'll have a name by then. We could hope. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me at Yanni's Nerdverse anywhere.
On my isuperebba anyway. Thank you for watching.
Romans Empire. Jeez.
We'll catch you guys next week for some topic, maybe news. Maybe we'll talk about the games and shows, but we will be back next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
See ya.